Austrian city of Graz, one of the three large plants of Steyr-Puch is situated. Over 5,000 technicians and skilled workers are developing and manufacturing the worldwide known products of this company. Here also the Haflinger is made, a vehicle which, due to its unique constructional features, material quality and precision manufacture, is an outstanding example of the company's achievement. In this plant, only the most modern and advanced production methods are applied. On the engine assembly line, we see here the fitting of the forged and nitrated crankshaft into the split light alloy die-cast crankcase. The carbon shaft is set on three main bearings. For main and connecting rod bearings, multi-alloy bearings are used. The camshaft is situated under the carbon shaft and runs directly in an oil bath. The light alloy pistons are fitted into grey cast cylinders. The cylinder head, manufactured from light alloy die-cast, has a semi-spherical combustion chamber. The valves are overhead ones, valve shafts are chromium-plated, and the valve seat is armored. A special oil filter is fitted directly in the main flow of the circulating lubricating oil. Cooling of the engine is done through a maintenance-free axial blower system, where also an oil cooler is fitted. A cross-country downdraft carburetor provides for the correct fuel-air mixture at all times. The undercarriage consists of three elements: the front axle set, the rear axle gearbox unit, and the central tube as backbone of the carriage. The two half-axles are suspended on the front axle unit independently. The same is done on the rear driving unit. The gearbox has 4, or on request 5, locks and synchronized forward gears, whereby the fifth permits very slow movement and may be called a creeper gear. On this vehicle, completely new ways have been found, which give the Steyr-Puch Haflinger a superior cross-country maneuverability. The basic element here is the platform, where specially pressed steel elements are welded together and combined to a very resilient platform through cross members. This platform is connected to the undercarriage on 4 points, where after loosening 4 screws and disconnecting the steerage unit and cables, the platform may be removed from the undercarriage in a matter of minutes. After completion on the assembly line, every vehicle is rigidly controlled in a driving test. With the development and production of the Haflinger, a vehicle has been created which, through its constructional details, its suitable measurements, and its low weight, is able to carry out transports of all kinds in a most difficult countryside, in soft ground and mud, in sand or snow, but also in the mountains, over rocks and other obstacles, as well as through woods and meadows. This here is the basic execution of the Haflinger. The unladen weight is 1,300 pounds, payload including driver about 1,100 pounds. All operation levers are easily reached. Both differential locks, as well as the front axle drive, can be shifted without the use of the clutch during driving. On request, 2 rear seats, which can be dropped into the platform, may be supplied. Here a short canvas cab with 2 doors and metal sideboards. This now is a large canvas cab covering the whole vehicle with 4 doors. For tropical climates, a special equipment has been created. Cooling here is achieved through a blower system with higher capacity and larger oil cooler. A cyclone filter is fitted on the air intake, and the intake for the blower system has been moved to the upper part of the rear end of the vehicle. A fiberglass cap is also available for the Haflinger and is shown here in combination with the 300 millimeter longer wheelbase, where 6 seats may also be fitted. Here a single-axle trailer connected through the trailer hook. With several fittings, the Haflinger is made into a universal firefighting vehicle which can carry all equipment necessary as well as 4 persons. Thousands of miles have been covered during development and tests in every conceivable country. From the highest points in the Alps of Austria and other European countries, through tropical Africa and Asia, over highest mountain passes in South America, the experience was gained, which has finally been incorporated into the present form of this product. Construction and fitting of this vehicle permits its use equally well on roads and through open country. Depending on the ratio in the drive wheel unit, speeds vary from 32 to 40 miles per hour. No obstacle is too difficult for the Haflinger. It moves over loose rocks, rock formations, wet, steep slopes, moors, mud, sand, or snow. This maneuverability is due primarily to the independently suspended wheels, the all-wheel drive with differential locks, the low center of gravity, small turning radius, and its exceptionally low weight. The independent wheel suspension permits the ground contact of all 4 wheels at all times, and therefore continuous driving. Very important is the flat torque curve of the engine. Consequently, even extremes can be covered safely without momentum. Fitted with the creeper gear, the Haflinger can take inclines over 65% or almost 60 degrees. Tire profiles are equally well fitted to driving on the road and even on sand. In winter, at minus 20 degrees centigrade, as well as in tropical climates of over 40 degrees centigrade, the Haflinger runs equally well. Even at continuous full load of the engine, the actual blower system gives sufficient cooling irregardless of driving speed. Here, with holes literally up to 20 inches deep, the advantage of the swinging axles and soft springing is evident. The undercarriage absorbs all stress, almost none is transmitted to the platform. Therefore, the weight of the vehicle could be kept very low, and a payload factor of almost 1 could be reached. If transport problems are to be solved well, especially in heavy ground and in mountains, it is decisive in which shape personnel and carried goods reach their destination. The superior driving qualities of the Haflinger are of considerable help here. The turning radius of 7.5 meters in most cases eliminates turning maneuvers. This last incline here leads over rocks with 12 to 15 inches, no difficulty at all for the Haflinger. System is very easy and dependable. Also downhill, the vehicle is absolutely safe. The braking system is largely dimensioned, very well tested, and absolutely suitable even for the longest downhill drive. Climbing ability as well as braking safety downhill can be further improved in soft ground through the fitting of chains. Roads, of course, mean nothing for the Haflinger. It can find its own track through soft, wet meadows, between rocks and between trees. Its maneuverability, due to the short wheelbase, the turning circle, and its small width, is decisive. Special constructive details permit to cover also longer distances in water, whereby the water may be over 20 inches deep. The angle of approach of 40 to 45 degrees makes it possible to traverse steep embankments and narrow trenches. The low weight shows its advantage in soft ground, especially in swamps and sand. The specific ground pressure also reduces roll resistance, factors which are especially important on the Haflinger. The engine power is equally distributed when engaging the four-wheel drive, which can be done in motion without the use of the clutch. This, together with the wide tire surface, reduces the danger of sinking too deep into mud or snow. In extreme cases, the tire pressure may be reduced to as far as 0.8 atmospheres. This may be necessary in sand. Apart from transport of personnel and goods, the Haflinger can be used through its PTO as a power source. Here a combination with a generator developing welding power of 250 amperes. In combination with the compressor unit, the Haflinger is both transport and power unit. The compressor has an end pressure of 7 atmospheres and delivers 1.7 cubic meters per minute. The combination of the Haflinger with a rope winch is interesting for forestry. Heavy tree trunks can be moved up steep slopes. The winch has a pulling power of almost 3,500 pounds. In agriculture, many combinations are possible, so for example a spraying unit for orchards, whereby the unit is driven from the power takeoff. These are only a few examples of application the Haflinger may have in commerce and agriculture. Here, the Haflinger has a very special place. Many variations are possible. One, a large cab where fittings for rifles and other military equipment are provided. Here only the front seats are protected. The top carrier of the cab at the same time serves as protection against turning. Here a vehicle with tropical equipment, whereby the material used for the cab is specially treated and additional ventilation is fitted in the front. The Haflinger is an ideal means for a weapons carrier. Here it is shown with a fitted 90mm recoilless Bofors anti-tank gun, and here with 12 wire-controlled Bofors anti-tank missiles of the type Bantam. This vehicle has a complete radio set whereby a 300-watt generator is driven from the power takeoff. You now see part of Army maneuvers. For every staff officer, the advantage of the Haflinger is that in a very short time it can be converted to a special vehicle for a special purpose, both for transport of personnel as well as of weapons and equipment. Its maneuverability is clearly shown and needs no words. Its low fuel consumption, 10 liters per 100 kilometers road, or 3 to 5 liters per hour in cross-country driving, is of primary importance because it reduces supply problems. The ease of maneuverability makes it possible to follow troops up to the extreme front line. Its dimensions reduce the danger of direct hits, and the change from one post to the other can be achieved in a speed which hardly any other vehicle can equal. Two stretchers can equally well be fitted. It is thus possible to drive out wounded directly from the front line. Are now driven out. Its low weight and comparatively small dimensions permit the loading of the Haflinger also into aircraft, and it has the practical possibility to be dropped by parachute. Naturally, the Haflinger can be used equally well for border control and customs police. The Steyr-Puch Haflinger is a new solution of transport problems. Its robust constructions, its universal possibilities, permit its use in almost all parts of civilian and military duty in all countries and all climatic conditions.